Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name is Seb. I do animal rights activism, mostly giving lectures in universities and schools. And I also have a podcast and I run the Middle East Vegan Society, an organization concentrating on raising awareness on veganism and animal rights and plant-based eating, of course, in the Middle East and North Africa. Today, I want to share a bit of my Ironman 7.3 training goals, motivation and everything that goes around what's happening at the moment. I signed up for this Ironman because I had a friend asking me if I want to join back in January. And initially I thought, of course not, because I don't really know how to swim. I never run, but yes, I do cycle every now and then. However, running and swimming are things I never do, but especially swimming, mostly because of my hair. I also have a fear of the ocean, and the Ironman consists of 1.9 kilometers of swimming in the ocean as the first part of the triathlon. So it was a very clear no on my end. However, this friend is also the same person I go cycling with. And the more we went cycling, the more he talked about it, the more I was like, I kind of want to do it, but the whole swimming and running thing was holding me back. Until I made a post on Reddit and I asked people's opinion, like, hey, do you think as a complete beginner, I can train and compete in an Ironman 70.3 within less than 75 days. And this is because I was quite sure I'm not going to do it until a few months before the date. The results of all the answers were, no, that's stupid. You need at least 9 months to do that. Only a few people said it might be possible, but you're going to be suffering a lot. And the more people said this, the more I felt like, well, I'm going to prove you wrong, because I kept on taking it as a challenge. And so I decided to go ahead and do it. I just want to make sure I cross the line. In order to keep me motivated to do this, I also wanted to start 2 fundraisers. One to help pay tuition fees of kids in Lebanon, where I come from, because the financial crisis that the country is going through has made up to 30% of the students drop out of education. And I wanted to do this in memory of my father, who passed away around a year and a half ago. Other than this, I am also raising money for an animal sanctuary that I will be deciding on very soon. And these 2 things are obviously motivating me so much to keep on going, keep on pushing, keep on training, waking up every day, do another session non-stop until I make sure that I will cross the line. The competition is going to be on the island of Lombok, which is next to the island of Bali. Both islands are in the country of Indonesia. That being said, it's quite a tropical place. It's going to be very hot. It's going to be in October, the 8th of October, which is kind of the rainy season, which is when humidity goes up as well. So obviously there's that challenge as well. So far my training has been honestly really ups and downs. I've had the first month, I would say, it was just real frustration. I had to take swimming lessons, and no matter what I did, I just couldn't understand how to breathe when I'm when I'm doing the stroke. And every time I turned around, I had water going in my nose, in my mouth. It was really, really not nice. And I had many moments where I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is stupid. There's no way that I'll be able to swim even 200 meters. I was just not understanding. I couldn't comprehend how that's even possible. And that was just so frustrating. So I had a few swimming classes and I kept on going to the pool, I think 4 or 5 times a week. Get up, go to the pool, swim for an hour. That meant swallow a lot of water and come back home until one day I was able to do 100 meters. And this was just, I was so happy. I couldn't believe that I did my first 100. The problem was that I finished my first 100 with my heart rate through the roof. I could barely breathe. And I thought, how am I supposed to do 19 times what I just did? Again, I fell into this idea of this is just not possible. I just don't have enough time to do this. I actually went from 100 to 150 to 300 meters to 600 to 2,000 and then 2,500 within less than 70 minutes. Why is this important, the 70 minutes? Because I actually have 70 minutes to finish the 1,900 during the Ironman. If it takes you more than 70 minutes, you get disqualified. However, the sea just really scares me. I gave it a try the first time I went to the beach, and it was just, I couldn't do it. I actually went in 50 meters. Just no way I'm gonna just throw myself into the ocean, because I keep on thinking of possible currents taking me further and further from the shore. And yeah, that's a massive fear I have. The next day I went again. The conditions were worse. The third day I went, this time it was better. So I did, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 150 meters, maybe even less. At this point, it's really about getting over the fear of the ocean. When it comes to cycling, I'm happy to say that I believe I can do the 91 kilometers within 3 hours, 15 minutes, because I actually gave it a try on the course. The downside is that I was convinced it's gonna include a 100-meter climb. It turns out it's 360, and I was really not emotionally prepared for that, or mentally prepared, or even physically, to be honest. But I think 3 hours, 15 minutes is a good time to do that. The difficulty hits when you get off the bike and now you have to run half a marathon. And that's where I'm still struggling. After I did the 91 kilometers, I was able to run 3.2 kilometers and my legs were just giving up, let's say. The good thing is that on race day, it's quite different. There's adrenaline, there's a crowd, there's extra motivation. From what I feel at the moment is I'm gonna cross the line, but it's gonna include a lot of suffering. So that being said, my strategy is to do the swim in 40 to 45 minutes, working on getting better at the swimming. 40 to 45 minutes, come out of the water, get on the bike, do it in 3 hours 15. I assume, based on my watch, it predicts that I can do half a marathon in 2 hours 22 minutes, but that's without having done anything before. I assume between 2.5 hours to 3.5 hours, depending on how I feel. My strategy during the run is to walk every 7 to 8 minutes. And yeah, let's see how that will go. One of the most important part and underrated part of all of this training is actually resting and diet. Resting, I mean, I have to sleep 7 to 8 hours every day to let my body recover. That's a very important part. And while doing that, you have to eat, basically put things in your body that are going to encourage and help your body recover. So usually the way my diet looks like at the moment is I wake up in the morning, I exercise or do some yoga or something like that, and then I start most of the time with either coconut water or watermelon. Watermelon is very good when it comes to muscle soreness. And then after the intense exercise, whatever I do, I actually have basically a smoothie bowl that I prepare every single day, and that recipe doesn't change. I put a bunch of dates, Vivo Life protein powder, Vivo Life Sustain, which helps a lot with recovery. The protein powder, of course, you don't necessarily need protein. I just really like the taste, and my favorite one is the Madagascar vanilla, which I'm assuming almost everyone's favorite. And then I also put some Thrive for the vitamins and minerals and everything else. And then I mix it with bananas, put some goji berries, dried coconut flakes, and cacao nibs. And that's what I have for breakfast almost every single day. Once that's done, during the day, I try to eat as healthy as I can. So I try my best to get whole foods, plant-based meals, try to cook at home most of the time. Sometimes if I don't have time, I just order. But overall, I would say I'm doing 70 to 75% whole foods, plant-based, and then the other 25 is, I don't know. Sometimes I'm too lazy to do something healthy, so I just order whatever. I'm really excited for this, super grateful for Vivo Life support, and I'd love to hear if anyone has done this, and if you want to share any tips, ideas, your experience, or what helped you stay motivated on race day. That's really important. And yeah, that's all I can share with you today, and we'll stay in touch. Take care.